Just happened. Princess Leonor and Christian first dance, a royal fairy tale moment. The lights dim. The music begins. And Spain holds its breath. Because what happens next wasn't just a dance. It was a declaration. A moment so pure, so royal, that even the king looked away. When the orchestra struck its first note inside the grand reception hall of Amalienburg Palace, no one expected silence. Yet silence fell. Every eye, from Queen Letitia's to Crown Princess Mary's, turned to the center of the ballroom, where two young figures stood hand in hand. Princess Leonor of Spain, Prince Christian of Denmark, the future of two monarchies, about to share their very first dance as husband and wife. It wasn't just tradition. It wasn't even protocol. It was history unfolding before the world's gaze. The chandeliers shimmered above them, thousands of crystals catching candlelight, reflecting against Leonor's ivory gown. The hem of her dress brushed against the marble floor, the faintest whisper echoing through centuries of royal legacy. Christian stepped forward first, his hand steady yet trembling with emotion. Leonor smiled, soft, uncertain, radiant. For a brief second, the air between them froze. And then, with a gentle nod, they began. The melody, a modern waltz composed secretly by Danish and Spanish musicians, was written just for them. A blend of two nations, two royal bloodlines, two hearts learning the rhythm of forever. As they danced, the whispers began. From the Spanish side, admiration, awe, a hint of bittersweet pride. From the Danish court, curiosity, fascination, quiet approval. Queen Letizia, elegant and poised, blinked rapidly, emotion catching her by surprise. She had always known this day would come. But watching her daughter glide across the floor in another kingdom, under another crown, it was no longer a royal duty. It was a mother letting go. King Felipe leaned forward ever so slightly. You could see it, the mixture of pride and pain. His little girl, now the queen-to-be of another land. As Leonor twirled under Christian's arm, the crowd saw something unexpected, joy. Not rehearsed, not royal, but real. Christian whispered something, no one heard the words, but Leonor laughed. A genuine, unscripted laugh that broke the formality of the entire room. The orchestra caught the moment and leaned into it, building emotion with every crescendo. The cameras flashed, but no lens could capture what those closest to the dance floor felt, that rare collision between duty and destiny. Because beneath the grace, there was something deeper, two young people learning how to love within the boundaries of a crown. And then came the spin, a moment choreographed to perfection. Leonor's gown flared like a halo of light. The diamonds on her tiara scattered brilliance across the room. For a heartbeat, she didn't look like a princess. She looked like a woman in love. Christian caught her mid-turn, steady, confident, protective. The applause began before the music even stopped. But in that noise, they only looked at each other. Then came the symbolism. Every royal dance carries meaning, subtle gestures encoded into tradition. But their ending move was different. Instead of bowing to the guests, Leonor and Christian bowed to each other. A quiet, deliberate sign of partnership, not hierarchy. A message not just to Spain or Denmark, but to the modern world, that love could redefine royalty. When the music faded, applause thundered. Queen Margrethe dabbed her eyes with a silk handkerchief. Crown Princess Mary smiled knowingly, perhaps remembering her own first dance years ago. But the camera caught one moment that melted millions of hearts online, King Felipe placing his hand on Queen Letitia's shoulder as Leonor curtsied. They both looked proud. But their eyes said something else, we've raised her for this. Later that evening, the dance floor filled again, foreign royals, diplomats, and celebrities joining in. But Leonor and Christian had already left the spotlight. And there, under the soft glow of Copenhagen's moonlight, they shared their second dance, private, imperfect, and utterly human. No orchestra, no applause, just the sound of the city below and two young monarchs swaying in silence. Christian whispered something in Danish. Leonor nodded, her eyes shimmering. And then, the moment that broke the internet, he kissed her hand, then her forehead. A royal gesture older than any crown. In the hours that followed, footage of the dance flooded every screen on the planet. Spanish tabloids called it, La Danza del Destino, the Dance of Destiny. Danish media named it, Kongelig Eventyr Øjeblik, a royal fairy tale moment. And across the world, people couldn't stop replaying it. Because for once, a royal story wasn't about scandal, or duty, or expectation. It was about something timeless. Something that connected even the coldest palaces, love. Commentators drew comparisons to great royal romances. Grace Kelly and Prince Rainier. Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip. But there was something new about Leonor and Christian, an authenticity that made even skeptics believe again. They didn't just dance for tradition. They danced for each other. The following morning, Spanish headlines were filled with emotion. Leonor's dance melts the crown. From princess to queen of hearts. Even international outlets, CNN, BBC, and Le Monde, ran the story, calling it a defining image of modern monarchy. And in the days after, as official photos were released, the world noticed small details. The Spanish lace subtly woven into Leonor's dress. The embroidery of both royal crests intertwined at her waist. The faint tear stain on King Philippe's cuff. Insiders later revealed that the dance had been Leonor's idea. She wanted something that felt real. Something that would show the people who she truly was, not just a princess, but a person. Christian agreed instantly. In his words, "Let it be our beginning, not our performance." And so it was. Behind the grandeur and gold, beyond the flashing cameras, this first dance became something bigger than anyone anticipated. It wasn't just the highlight of a royal wedding. It was the moment that humanized royalty itself. Because when Leonor rested her head on Christian's shoulder, every mother saw her daughter. Every father saw his pride. Every person saw hope. And that's the power of a fairy tale, not because it's perfect, but because it makes us believe that even under a crown, hearts can still beat the same way ours do. As the night ended, guests left with smiles and whispers. Spain rejoiced. Denmark celebrated. And somewhere between those two nations, two young royals began writing a new chapter of history, one slow, graceful step at a time. The dance was over. But the story had just begun.